Hello, I'm Dr. Robert, a virologist and infectious disease researcher who has spent the last 15 years studying the silent complexities of HIV. I know many of you have lost hope. You've heard the same thing for decades. There's no cure, but today I want to tell you something different. Because right now, in real time, we're witnessing one of the most promising breakthroughs the HIV world has ever seen. For over 4 decades, HIV has outsmarted our medicines, our immune systems, and our hopes for a cure. But now, in a quiet laboratory in Melbourne, Australia, a discovery was made that could change everything. Scientists at the Peter Doherty Institute have done what no one else could. They found a way to unmask the virus hiding deep inside our cells, making it visible to the immune system for the very first time. This isn't a theoretical promise. This isn't another temporary solution. This is a real, lab-proven method using mRNA-loaded nanoparticles, a futuristic technology that might finally lead us to a cure. Stay with us as we break down how this revolutionary method works, what it means for millions living with HIV, and how it could reshape the future of viral treatment forever. Why HIV is so hard to cure. To understand why this breakthrough is so important, we must understand the enemy. HIV doesn't just infect the body. It invades our immune system, specifically a type of white blood cell called CD4 T cells. These are the generals of our immune defense. Once infected, the virus hides inside them, inserting its genetic code into their DNA, like a thief hiding in plain sight. Antiretroviral therapy, can stop HIV from replicating, but it cannot reach the latent reservoirs, cells where HIV is dormant, invisible, and undetectable. This is why, even with successful treatment, HIV is never truly gone. It's waiting, and the moment you stop your medication, it comes back. Introducing the nanoparticles, LNP X. This is where the Australian scientists made history. Using lipid nanoparticles, or LNPs, they created tiny, fat-based bubbles capable of slipping into the very white blood cells where HIV hides. Inside these bubbles, a customized piece of mRNA similar to what's used in COVID-19 vaccines, but designed for a very different mission. The goal? To instruct these dormant infected cells to produce HIV antigens again, essentially forcing them to reveal the virus hiding inside. This transforms HIV from an invisible threat into a visible, attackable target. The scientists named this technology LNP X, and when they saw the infected cells light up under the microscope, they described it as jaw-dropping. Because for the first time, they weren't chasing HIV, they were confronting it. How it works, mRNA and the immune system. Let's break it down simply. mRNA is like a biological instruction manual. Once delivered into the cell, it tells it what proteins to make. In this case, the mRNA tells the infected CD4 cell, start making HIV proteins again. Once that happens, the immune system, which had no idea the virus was even there, finally sees it and attacks. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. You can't fight what you can't see. LNPX flips the switch. The beauty of this system is that it doesn't harm the cell. It doesn't try to kill it. It simply reveals the viral code, letting the body's own immune soldiers do their job, or allowing future therapies to come in and finish the task. From the lab to the world, why this matters. You might be wondering, is this just another lab success? Or can this really become a treatment? Here's the reality. This research is peer-reviewed, published, and backed by real laboratory testing. In white blood cells infected with HIV, the nanoparticle mRNA combo successfully exposed hidden HIV, without harming the cell or triggering toxic responses. More importantly, this opens the door for the next stage, pairing this unmasking system with either therapeutic vaccines or CRISPR-based genome editors to eliminate the virus once it's exposed. Think about that. We now have a way to find the hidden virus. That was the hardest part, killing it. That's something the immune system or existing tech may now finally be able to do. This could mean an end to lifelong medication, an end to the fear of viral rebound, an end to the virus itself. The challenges, what still needs to be done. Now, let's be clear, we're not declaring victory just yet. There are challenges. First, the delivery system must work inside the human body, not just in lab dishes. Second, the immune system must respond strongly enough to clear the exposed virus. Third, we must test this across multiple strains of HIV and ensure long-term safety. And finally, this technology must reach people, not just publications. That means funding, clinical trials, global collaboration, and overcoming stigma. But for the first time, the path is visible. And that in itself is a breakthrough. What this means for people living with HIV? If you're living with HIV or know someone who is, this news matters, because you've likely been told there is no cure. That you must take your meds every day. That if you stop, the virus comes back. But this research tells a different story. What if one day your own immune system could recognize and remove the virus? What if treatment didn't mean managing, but clearing HIV from your body? We're not there yet, but we are finally on that road. And unlike past promises that faded, this one is backed by modern science, mRNA tech, and real data. It's not hype. It's happening. The bigger picture, HIV, innovation, and human progress. Let's zoom out. mRNA vaccines once seemed like science fiction, then COVID-19 arrived. And the world saw what this technology could do. Now we're using that same platform, improved, refined, and specialized to go after the greatest viral challenge of the last century, HIV. This is the culmination of 40 years of research, from the early chaos of the 1980s to today's genetic precision. And it reminds us that progress never stops. It only needs the right minds, the right moment, and the will to try. Dr. Robert Gallo, one of the co-discoverers of HIV, once said, "The war on HIV is not over, but now, at least, we know where the enemy is hiding. With LNP X and mRNA unmasking tools, we're finally knocking on the door of a cure." This isn't just a story about HIV, it's a story about hope. Hope powered by science. Hope for the 38 million people living with HIV worldwide. Hope that we are finally approaching a world where being HIV positive does not mean a life sentence. We urge everyone, stay informed, support research, erase stigma, and never lose faith in the progress of medicine. If it gave you hope, subscribe and follow us as we continue to bring you the latest breakthroughs in global health. Together we can make history.